Blackhawks fans, welcome into the newest edition of the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. Tonight, the Chicago Blackhawks took on the Colorado Avalanche at home and won. So we're going to break it down for you, and so stick with us. Blackhawks fans, welcome into the newest edition of Chicago Blackhawks Central Victory Podcast. To celebrate the 3-2 win, Hawks over the Colorado Valeri Nishushkins.
Yeah.
Just going to go over some quick little stats here really quick. From the stats, you would think that the Blackhawks lost, but they won, and they didn't get embarrassed like they did on October 19th, 4-0 in Colorado. So 37-22 shots on goal, Colorado over the Hawks, 52 to 48% on face-off percentage, a 67% power play percentage to a 16.7%, 17% power play percentage for the Blackhawks, 32 PIMs for the Colorado Valeri Nishushkins. It was kind of a free-for-all at the end of the game right there when Colin Blackwell, Hawks legend, coming back 295 days between games. And he was a big part of this game, but we'll get into that a little bit later. 14-23, Hawks with the more hits, and Hawks with more block shots as well. Hits were 23-14 Blackhawks. The block shots were 14-6 Blackhawks. The giveaways were 9-6 Blackhawks. The takeaways were 15-6 Blackhawks. And then 4 goals coming in the first period, 2 from Colorado, 2 from Chicago Blackhawks. And then 1 final goal in the third period on the power play, Nick Foligno to Tyler Johnson to seal the deal. And then you had the lines that the Hawks and the Avs were rolling. Blackhawks still very depleted, and a last-minute change. Phil Kurashev had some bad raclette at the Chris Kringle Market and was sick, could not play. So what were those new lines looking like, Skoks?
Yeah, the top line, Lukas Reichel, possibly his best game of the season.
I think you could probably say definitively.
Yeah,
of the season. He was lying.
He was everywhere. Connor Bedard, even on that final goal there for TJ, Tyler Johnson, Bedard is on the far right boards, and he throws a blind back pass, right, off of the back of his stick there over to Zaitsev, and then sends it down to I believe Foligno, then over to TJ for that final goal. But Bedard making everything happen with Reichel tonight. Unreal. The amount of chances was awesome.
Bedard might have finally unlocked the puzzle that is Lukas Reichel. Lukas Reichel might have arrived.
Yeah. They were creating space the whole game, skating pretty well, good speed, especially on that 2-on-1 for that goal. Bedard sauces it over to Reichel and buries it. Possibly could have just maybe took his own shot there, Connor, but he throws it on over, being a little unselfish there, and Reichel pots it in. It's great stuff. And that right wing was rotating a bit. It seemed like maybe the first half of the game. I believe Cole Gutman got 1 or 2 shifts, and then who stapled in on that top line for Kurashev? it was Ryan Donato. So we've seen him, in stints recently too. Thought that line was very good. Possibly the best line tonight. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I think
Hmm.
this might be something. And
Hmm.
just that top line of Reichel, Bedard, Donato.
Hmm.
When Kurashev gets back, I'm sure he'll rejoin.
Yeah.
But it's still nice to see production from those guys,
Yep.
even in the absence of Kurashev.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Wanted to highlight Colin Blackwell on that
yeah,
third line there with Jason Dickinson and Nick Foligno. Buzzing line, similar to the top line. Two best lines tonight, we could say. Um, Colin Blackwell, just like you said earlier, hasn't played in almost a year, right? 10 months.
like
Um,
295 days between games played.
yeah.
And yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it was. He had some sort of
Hmm.
lower body injury, and then there was some complications and a setback, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden, 300 days later,
Hmm.
you know, he's finally feeling great, and
Yeah.
um, 6 hits, 3 shots,
Hmm.
almost 17 minutes time on ice. I want to say,
Hmm. Right.
um, you know, a great third line role, and
Hmm.
started the melee at the end where he
Yeah.
hit Nathan McKinnon, where he could have maybe gotten called for a board,
Hmm.
uh, and Johansson went after him, and
Hmm.
Miles Wood went after him, and
Yeah. Miles Wood with like 3 penalties tonight, I think.
yeah, he had a really rough game
Yeah.
for the
Speaking of
Avs.
rough, his contract is also, we could say, a rough one. That's what is it, like a 5-year contract maybe?
It was like 3.25 for 6 years, I think.
Yeah, rough stuff, man,
Yeah,
for
I know.
for Miles Wood there, but helping us out, because we get that PP goal. Um, just love what you saw from Blackwell. First game in like a year, and he's out here throwing his body around, skating pretty well, right? Little speedy, not super nifty, first game, but wow, that was impressive for him on that third line. That's pretty much the like miracle line, right? Uh, Paired up with Dickinson and Foligno, good things are going to happen. Definitely.
Yeah, Jason Dickinson's been putting the team on his back, scoring
Yeah.
lots of goals,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly.
Yep.
And Nick Foligno, tenacious
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah.
just good player, having
Mm-hmm.
almost a little bit of a career revival now that he's also finally healthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, just good stuff. Seeing two comebacks with Reichel and Blackwell. Hoping this is like that turning point, right, for Reichel, because like we said, a million times before, we had big expectations for him this year and moving on, right? This definitely seems like a game that could just, you know, boost your game, boost your confidence, being on that top line with Connor.
Does seem like a catalyst game almost
Yeah,
for motivation and commitment for Lucas Reichel. So
yeah.
hopefully we get to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, yeah, I mean, we besides Connor Bedard,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking, okay, well, like Kevin Korchinski, and then you're like Lucas Reichel, like
Right.
he's like supposed to be one of the better prospects for the Hawks organization. So I'm glad that
Mm-hmm.
this was a breakout game for him, and I hope he continues the success for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that pretty much wraps up the big notes from the game, but lots of updates from media today on
Yeah.
injuries. If you want me to run down it really quick here, we got from Ben Pope,
Yeah.
the Pope. He says from Coach Luke, Seth Jones won't play before Christmas. His injury, in parentheses, got worse the few days after it happened, December 10th. So tonight is the 20th. Not great, man. Not
No, that
great.
isn't great.
I'm not liking how that sounds, but um, won't play before Christmas. Yeah, he might be a 2024 return. It's looking like for Seth Jones there, but Alex Vlasic skated on his own this morning and is ahead of Jones, but won't play tonight, of course. Maybe we see him this weekend, if it's not super, bad, I guess.
Right.
But
As long as he's able to
yeah,
return without any problems, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some bodies back. Great to see Kevin Korchinski. He is back in town. So he's back on the ice, but just not in the lineup right now. Trying to get back in game shape here.
Yeah, I saw a sweet picture.
Mhm.
Colin Blackwell was giving
Yeah.
out the game chain,
Hmm.
and Mackenzie Entwistle's right next to him in the locker room. He's like cackling, like full blown laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Um, Seth Jones just kind of like there, hands in his pockets, playing it cool, head down.
Yeah.
But then, like, Kevin Korchinski's like cracked a smile and he's laughing. So,
Yeah.
really good to see that from him after
Hmm.
going through such a tough and trying time in his young life.
Oh yeah.
I also
Uh-huh.
wanted to just mention this before. So,
Hmm.
we said, we might get Vlasic back. We're probably not going to get Seth Jones back very soon.
Hmm.
And then Korchinski, he'll take all the time he needs, but
Yeah.
he's with the boys, so hopefully his
Right.
spirits will be lifted up. But there was a interview with Devon Taves
Right. 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 Right.
the Colorado Avalanche, and he
Yeah.
had some he wasn't mincing words. He was saying that
Yep.
uh, there's a bunch of players on the Colorado Avalanche right now that think they're playing well and that they're kidding themselves, that they're
Yeah.
completely out to lunch. They just don't know what's going on.
Hmm.
And I thought that's pretty damning from Devon Taves, who's a main part of that back end and
Yeah.
the Colorado Avalanche just in general. So just wanted to get that out there
Yeah.
that the Blackhawks have they like to make it a trend of breaking teams.
Yeah.
So it was the Pittsburgh Penguins last season,
Hmm.
and it's the
Hmm.
Toronto Maple Leafs kind of almost every season.
Right. Yeah.
And now it looks like maybe the Colorado Avalanche might be a little broken.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. That McKinnon line was pretty good tonight. McKinnon, top 5 player. He's awesome, super
Oh yeah, he
fast.
he rocks.
But I believe we kept him off the board tonight.
They had
Mm,
one assist,
One assist. Okay, okay. Uh,
both power play goals.
right, right. Yeah.
Not to say that power plays don't goal's a goal if it crosses the line, whatever. But
Hmm.
that's a little power play cookie. Come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
Nate Dogg's more dominant than that. We know this.
Yeah. Great player, but did a good job shutting him down. Didn't think we gave him any, high danger chances really. Uh, McKinnon, Nate Mack there, but uh, yeah. So Devontae is pissed, royally pissed.
Yeah, and I mean
Mhm.
he didn't do anything. I have him on my fantasy team, so he was zero
Yeah,
zero dash two. I want to say. I mean, he played like almost 30 minutes, I think, but
yeah, hmm
he
yeah,
he played. He lost a lot of ice time, but
yeah. Definitely eats minutes. Checking
great
in.
two-way defensive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Checking in with the injury. 3 more updates here. Joey Anderson out at least 7 days.
Dude,
Dude,
that's
yeah, to the IR. So,
glad that Blackwell can step in there and take his spot on that
yeah.
third line. But dude,
hmm
Joey Anderson was ripping,
Oh,
just
yeah.
tearing it up. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was
Yeah.
great to have him. It was like, he's like an AHL, NHL kind of tweener.
hmm
Not very dominant, good
No.
disher, facilitator.
hmm
And he was doing exactly that on
Yeah.
that line with Foligno and Dickinson. So,
hmm
having Dickinson finish him off or Foligno finish him off, it
hmm
was great to see. Tough break for him.
hmm
Hopefully, we get him back sooner rather than later. Maybe more of the Alex Vlasic timeline, more than the Seth
Yeah.
Jones timeline.
hmm
But we'll obviously see.
hmm Hopefully. Another another down update, similar to that Jones one where, it got worse, right? Double A, Andreas Athanasiou, in parentheses here, getting further checkups. Don't
Oh
like
no.
that.
No, you hate to hear that.
Don't like that one. On his groin injury. So of course we know what that's like with Mrazek and Stalock last year, absolutely depleted goal the goaltending depth.
Yeah, we had
I
to
mean,
sign Dylan Wells, I think.
yeah,
That
we
was a
did go
conundrum.
there. Yeah,
That was a
because
conundrum.
Soderblom went down also,
Yep.
and we had Wells and like Stauber,
Mitchell Weeks.
Mitchell Weeks.
Yes.
I don't think he debuted last year,
No, I don't believe so
but
either.
he was probably
Luckily.
that
Yeah,
close.
no, it was too close.
Um, Not great, but uh, it has been lingering. Note here for Double A, not good. And then that last update about Gutman scratched tonight because there's some defensive things that we want to work on with him. Interesting, but Khrushchev not feeling great tonight. He obviously gets in on that fourth line there with Entwistle and Reese Johnson. So
Nice.
yeah, got some ice time. You know.
Yeah. Wow. It's just like last minute, no Kurashev, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then
hmm
like all of a sudden you're like, oh, like Cole Gutman scratched, and you're like, wait, what? No, he's young, he's budding, he's developing, and then it just uh,
right.
you got to roll with the punches, and
Right.
luckily the Hawks were able to do that and then gut out a win as well.
Yeah. Great. Great for us. Great for him. He's been fantastic.
He has.
Khrushchev. I mean, from what we've expected from him, he's been great. Quick on this hockey stat cards. So it's that scorecard with the ratings of like offense and defense. Top 3 players are Connor Bedard, Ryan Donato, and Lucas Reichel. But Connor Bedard it's unreal. His
Far and
his
away.
his graph, his graph is about 5 points past Lucas Reichel, and it's nuts. But obviously he was the best Hawk on the ice tonight. Um, Forwards, but
Definitely.
yeah. Top 3 stars, I guess. First star Donato, 1 goal, 1 assist. Second star Mrazek, 35 saves. So he's been excellent. Which we've repeated the whole season,
Yeah.
really. And Connor Bedard with 2 assists, third star. Not bad.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of articles written about like teams and what they're going to do at the deadline and whatnot.
Yeah.
So speaking of Mrazek and his stellar play,
hmm
I heard that New Jersey took a look at Mrazek
Really?
And because they've got Akira Schmid and Vitek
Yeah.
Vanacek, which it could use an upgrade.
Yeah, that's rough.
And
It's rough.
if Mrazek is that upgrade, congratulations, but
Yeah.
you might need a little bit more than that.
Yep.
And then I heard that Jason Dickinson has been drawing a little bit of interest. He's been winning faceoffs and scoring goals. So what more could you want from centerman? In that third, maybe like a third or a fourth line role on a contending team.
And I think I've even mentioned maybe last week that maybe we do see like an extension here for Foligno, Dickinson, guys that are really solid for our depth here, down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I think Foligno is definitely coming back. I think you can book
I think
that.
so too. Right.
Just pencil it in, and then I if Jason Dickinson wants to come back, I'm not going to say no. He's been playing well, and I think he's getting an opportunity here with the Blackhawks that he's probably not going to get much other places. Like I said, I think you're going to staple him to that third line, but like third line minutes where you're looking at 12, or maybe like a fourth line role where you're looking at more like 10.
Yeah. And he's great on PKs. Just I mean, he's been awesome.
Good player. Yeah. Great middle six guy.
Yeah, great stuff from Dickinson. But funny tweet tonight. I guess funny tweet of the night, right? Frank Saravalli, big shot, big hitter in the league here. Just live tweeting the game, man. Hawks game. He's he tweets, Bedard is unreal tonight. Impressive effort for severely overmatched Blackhawks team against Avs. Just randomly, he's like, this guy's unreal. This kid is unreal. Severely
awesome.
overmatched. Definitely.
Right now, in 31 games played, 12 goals, 16 assists, 28 points for Connor Bedard, which is good for a 76-point pace.
I sure hope so, man. Yeah. That's that's awesome. Obviously can't score every game, right?
No.
It's not going to happen, but yeah, do we see him get to that 30 mark? Maybe. Long ways to go though. So we will be here, definitely.
We will. But for now, we will go away. That has been this edition of the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Hawks win tonight against a stacked, amazing Colorado Avalanche team. So 3-2 is your final score. Hawks win. Go Hawks.
Let's go Hawks.